Now I have this broke down into stages because I have several here that I wanted to do, but let me go ahead and show you. This is the little vial, the little jar with the cork lid, and they came 6 to a pack from Dollar Tree. You can also get them on Amazon. You don't have to hunt at Dollar Tree and try to find them because they are very hard to find. So what I did is I, of course, opened the jar and I put those little snowballs in them, that little styrofoam. I used my super glued gel and I glued that cork right on into that bottle so that it's not going to come off. Not very easily. You'll have to work at it for sure. Now the next thing I did is I have these little itty bitty eye rings, and I say they're itty bitty, and that they are. So you can see how, okay, these are my cutter bees. Some of you know how big cutter bees are. These are the vials, and these are the eye hooks. So they're little tiny, they're made for jewelry, and so this is perfect. Now I don't want my eye hook to fall out either, and so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my pokey tool. This is a thinner one. I have some that people have made me, but this is a thinner piece at the end there, and I'm just going to take it, I'm going to poke it on into my cork. Now you don't have to use a pokey tool. I also have this little tiny hand drill, and I can stick it in there, and I can just put my hand on it and drill right into the top of that cork. And then I can unscrew it right on back out. And because I have the eye hooks and they have the screws on the end, it will screw nicely in there and not leave a lot of give. So let me get my super glue once again, and I'm going to put it on the end of my eye hook where it has the grooves to screw in, and I don't need a whole bunch. And right where I had put that hole, I'm going to go ahead and line my eye hook up, and we're just going to screw it right on in there. And then we're going to let that dry. Let me set that aside. So the next thing I did is I have some these are little Let It Snows that I printed out, and I just cut to fit on the size of the jars. And they're right about 3/4 of an inch, and so I needed to cut them down so they would fit nicely on the jar. And these two have once again a Let It Snow on it, a little bit different than this one. And so to get these done, I'm going to just take my little piece here, my little Let It Snow. I'm going to trim around the edge just a little bit more. Doesn't need to be fancy. And I'm just going to take a little bit of Mod Podge, and this doesn't have to be much of anything, and I'm just going to use my finger on that. And I'm going to put a little Mod Podge on the back of my paper. And this is just regular copy paper. I did not want anything super thick. And then I'm going to line it right up on the bottom and just lay it down across that jar. And then once that first layer is dry, I'm going to come in, I'm just going to dab a little bit over the top of that. But in the meantime, what I did was I took my keychain right here, and I took my jump rings, and I'm going to go ahead and take my pliers, and I have my small needle nose pliers here, and then I'm going to go ahead and just take my jump ring, and I used a pretty good size one so you can see it, and I'm going to loop it on through the end of that keychain, and then right on in to the top of that eye hook. And then we're going to take it and we're going to just close it up. Boop, done. And then that's going to dry. And so I have two right here that are already done and ready for that. And so the next thing I did was I went ahead and I had this bag, I had a bag of these plastic white snowflakes. I've had them for a very long time because, as you can see, there's a ton in there, and it's table scatter. And so on the ones I have gotten done, I used 3 each. It's staticky, my goodness. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull out 6. And that's all I'm going to need for this to show you. I have a cork piece right here, and this is an old coaster. And I'm going to take that same pokey tool, and in the corner, I'm just going to poke a hole so I can go right up in between those snowflakes pieces. So I'm going to take it right up in between. I'm going to flip it over and do the same on the other side. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to push it right on down to make that hole nice and thick so I can get that jump ring on. So once you have your snowflakes punched through, I'm just going to come in with 3 jump rings, and I'm using the larger ones. And all I'm going to do now is once again take my flat pliers, and I'm going to stick that jump ring in there. I'm going to start at the top, and on the very top ring I'm going to link that on through both sides, flatten up closed. And then the next one right on through, and we have a link in the middle, so I'm going to go ahead and link that one in the middle link. And then we have one more. And that one's going to go on the bottom, very bottom link of that keychain. Keychain. Oh my goodness. I usually have my videos done before now. It's Sunday evening. But getting my mom moved in, we did get her over to the ER. We had to. She fell again. She now has a brain bleed. And we are now home with her, and they've started her on hospice. So guys, just continue to pray for me. It's not been easy. She's actually started reverting back to some of her old things that she did as when I was a child, and so some of that has really just come on back to me, and it's just rough. So I want to make sure that I get my time when I can get in here and play with my stuff and get videos out to you guys. So here we have it. Look at how stinking cute those are. Oh, I just think they turned out pretty cute. They're not too overdone. I might do some white beads on some later and kind of put a chain hanging between there so they maybe look like little icicles, but we shall see. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today and watching my tutorial on how to make these cute little Let It Snow keychains. If you've not subscribed to my channel, I do hope you will consider doing so now by hitting that subscribe button. If you want to know when I'm uploading a new video, hit that bell notification, and YouTube should notify you when I'm uploading a new video. As always, guys, stay safe, God bless, and bye for now.